Hello YouTube, welcome to Sunday in the Shop. This pole came down in a windstorm. There is wires up here, but it wasn't really as tall as the wire going this direction. So I wasn't too concerned about it, only about falling on somebody, but it had been leaning all summer. We're going to chop some weeds out back. See these things? I don't know why I don't get some spray. This is just 2 weeks worth back here. So we're going to go around the other side and we'll show you our Harbor Freight machete, the one that I swear I'm out of breath. It's hot out here and humid. See where I took a lot of the blade off and the teeth off and made it heavier out at the end. And it is razor sharp. As you can see, I stuck it right in there. So we'll go back here and we'll show you just a little bit of chopping action because we got to get this job done. Like I said, this is 2 weeks worth of growth. So here's part of a tree, like an elm tree. Here, let's try it again so we can get it on film. Bear with me, this is hard to do. And we'll try it over here. Look how big them trees are. Okay, I think you get the idea. We'll come back when we're all done and show you what it looks like. Okay, this took some chopping. You can see by the size of the trees have been growing all summer. I have no excuse for that, but you can see by the size of these of how big some of them are. I was chopping into. See that? Mulberry trees, maple trees, elm tree. There you go. We're done with this. Neighbors are mowing. I got done mowing. We'll stop. We'll find something else to do. Okay, we done showered and shaved and we feel good. We got shorts, t-shirt on. It's 80 degrees in the shop, but the dew point is in the upper 60s. See this fitting? I'm going to show you when we had to chop it off with a knife. They really pushed in here. I had this holding 80 pounds at the other end of it. This is just a short little piece that I made out of a fitting. So that's a female fitting, so it's a little stub of pipe in there with a lot of Teflon tape. Okay, we had this holding 80 pounds on this thing here. So we'll get on the tripod and we'll show you how we made this little end here. This is just off those cheap little airbrush kits. A real cheap $5 one I had for years. I don't even know what the rest is. I'm just glad I found the hose. So stay tuned. We'll get you over here on the table. Okay. We don't have no pics how I made it. This is the bottom of an ink pen. You know, the kind that's screwed in half with the click thing on the top. It was plastic inside, metal on the outside. All we did is this is your, like, inflate your basketball, but some of them have holes in the side. This one didn't, and it was longer. What we did is we shoved it in the ink pen and we had to drill a little bit. We put a lot of shrink wrap tubing on it, like several different sizes and layers. Then we put electrical tape over it. And the same here. We put some shrink wrap tubing over this, over here and over to the hose. Had to be careful not to melt the hose. Then we put some electrical tape on it. Because we did blow it out at 80 pounds. Believe it or not. No, got stuff falling there. Place must be haunted. Anyway. We'll turn this on here. We don't have much air left in the tank, but we had it pushing 80 pounds on this gauge. And there's about, what, 55. It don't seem like a whole lot, but you get your finger on here. Great for cleaning carburetors. And I'll have this hooked up maybe separate. I may put some kind of other fitting and valve coming off the regulator so I can use different type of hoses and regulate it. And of course you have the fitting where you can run straight pressure off of it. There's that little thing. Like I said, I had it holding 80 pounds. So enough of that. We'll think of something else to go to. Here's another little tool I made. This is like a piece of pipe that was split, so I spread it apart with my chisel over on the anvil part of my vise to get this fit. Then it spot welded like 3 times the MIG welder. Then we covered it with some shrink wrap tubing. This is reached down in places. The problem is it's not perfectly round, and this brush is getting off-centered where they kind of bang and bang on it. But still it did the job. I cleaned the inside of the lid on the propane tank with that big screw-on cap. So another tool made out of those bits I bought for $5 for 10 of them or whatever. So thought it'd be worth showing. Like I said, then you can let it spin in your hand. It's not rough. It's got something on it. So There you go. We'll think of something else. Might be boring this week. We're tired and we don't want to rush to get a video up. We're just so tired we just don't want to do much today at all after mowing the yard. We had to mow the yard with the grass wet. You know what that does? Go back over it twice because it clumped up. So stay tuned. We'll think of something. We got to get a little more exciting than this. But it is kind of neat. Make another tool out of those screwdriver bits. Okay, problems with spray paint. It's a cheap brand. Like I always say it, I put it on, I don't get paid to show you any product. Here's your old school top. This stuff, you gotta watch it. It's one store is $3 and I can buy it like at Menards for like $1 a can. So it just shows you the price difference going to a different store. Okay, this. I do like these tops. This has that little square thing right here where you can turn it, adjust the spray pattern. So we'll spray a pattern like this, just like a gun, or you can flip it. I do not know what I painted with this. This is laid around for years. This is what I used on my welding helmet, true blue. So I thought I'd show that in case somebody liked that color blue. I like it. I am sure it's not what I painted my vise with. I've looked at my vise and I've looked back and forth and I don't think it is. So it could have been a bicycle years ago. But it's been laying around forever. Even like the ones like this, the older the Rust-Oleum tops, I've got older cans, no problem. Well, some of these cans say sprayed at any angle. Well, I've been saving these tops. And I know you can soak them in thinner and stuff. I just threw a couple in some 90% isopropyl rubbing alcohol is all it is. And that's kind of helped. And then I run a little air through it with the air nozzle with my rubber tip. Excuse me, try not to belch on camera. This is, hear how heavy that is? It's like 3/4 of a can and it's junk. I took the top off right as soon as I got done spraying, so I figured that might help. Well, I know what it's doing. It's drying inside here, and I'm not going to play around outside. I stuck this right up against a board, okay, with no top on it. It's plugged. I'm not sticking nothing in here. It ain't worth me getting paint all over for $5 or whatever, the $6 a can I got. And it says any angle. Well, I thought someone said even upside down in the description. I'm not buying any more of this junk. If I can help it, I'm through with it. This is the first can, there was some left in the bottom of the same flat black. This can's only 3/4 full. I mean, it's a lot of paint that's going in the garbage. So, enough of that. Like I said, this has always been my favorite. I've had trouble with this brand splattering years ago painting bicycles, but you get what you get. So, like I said, the only suggestion I can save any of these tops that still work. Take it off when you're done painting. Like I said, it's going to dry out, but take it off there and clean it out with an air thing. Save you a few of these. And I even have the special handle for this, which already broke. I showed a video where I put some mechanics wire around it. It's already split and broke, so the handle's junk. It's not like the old ones. But we'll stop here and we'll show you the difference in the handles, so people know the difference. Okay, here's the difference in the handles, because you got that big button, wherever I did with it. You got that big button on the can, right? This is so it'll go around there. Like I said, it's already split. It's already falling apart. I've got wire on it. I just ripped it off there. I was so upset the can blowed, I just ripped it off there. So, I don't know if I can snap it back on with a wire or not. But, made by them, okay. This is just your run-of-the-mill generic can gun. These will work. But these will work with this kind of can, what they're made for, okay? Where it goes on here, we'll stick it on there. Goes down inside the can. Don't pull the trigger, there's still some paint here. Mostly just there. Okay, now it will work on these, but you have to be careful. If you put it on one of these, I'm trying to look through the viewfinder. If you put it on one of these, it might snag and pull the top off when you go to take it off, when you go to pull it back off. So we'll, take it off that way. sometimes you'll pull this out and on the ground and go, see that where it was coming out? So I keep a few spare of these because I've done that. I've done it just a while back. I pulled it off the can and pulled this piece out and it's gone on the ground somewhere. And I also keep some of these around, these tips. Last, before we go, we'll show you a few of my air fitting stuff I keep in the thing, like for your tires and valve stems. We'll show you a little box that we keep. We usually throw these in there because it has to do with air, you know, air painting. So I'd show that there is a little metal. Some of these have a little metal. I don't know if you can see it, or I'll try to take a picture. I don't know if I can. It's like a little piece of metal wire that goes down inside of here. So I've had trouble with these plugging up. I've taken that tip out, like I said, this tip, turn it on the can and spray it, and then got through spraying. So there's another tip on using these tops. So we'll pause and we'll show you a couple, just some things like you inflate your basketball and stuff with. Okay, this is just some of the stuff I keep in my toolbox. You got your valve stems, of course, your air chuck, different caps, and like these things, I'll go ahead and put that in there. You know, so I have stuff like that. You know, so I always have it. Your little other little valves. So when I do tires, I always have that. And then it goes into this box, and then you got, we'll just dump them out. Okay, here's your drain for an air compressor. Spare tip off a blowgun. This is a thing I made where you screw it down in a spark plug hole, like on my truck. This is what size plug it is. This was just brazed in here by breaking and drilling out a spark plug and putting this pipe in there. I made a video about this a long time ago. You want to put air into a cylinder. Some people used to do it to get your valve springs off keepers. Well, I'd rather use a little piece of cord. There's a trick there beside there. Here's another old one. Do not know what this is off of. This is off some, I'll find it someday. It used to be a junky sandblaster thing, I think. Where it's kind of reminds you of the thing where you spray the water. It sucked the sand up and then the air. So it's similar to my engine cleaning gun. Here's a like safety one where it blows out the sides too, which I've never used, but you can modify it. I don't know if I can braze this or not. This could be stainless or something. Did several things for airing up your basketball. Like I said, but most of them have a hole in the side. I don't know if you can see it. I think you can see it as I turn around. They got a hole in the side. Okay, so does that one. And here's one that screws into my blowgun. I think it goes to this gun. You can also take these fittings and get you some brake tubing. Just go into the parts store. If you want a piece of brake tubing, you take one of these fittings and you can epoxy it in there. You know, you don't have to have a weld or nothing. You can epoxy it in there. Just don't get it in this hole. Of course, you could drill it out. Just epoxy it down in there. Cheap epoxy. So you can have like a foot-long pipe. There's that train. It comes by regularly. We can do this. There you go. Just some of the junk that I have for using the air compressor and doing tires. We'll put all that back in there. I don't know what nozzle we took off there. It doesn't matter. They're both the same. They're both the same exact nozzle. Okay, that's it for this week. Maybe it's be a little bit shorter video. I know 15 minutes on some of my videos is kind of long, but sending the shop. But doesn't that train get irritating if you had to hear it all the time like I do, half a dozen times a day? Anyway, guess who says that saying on TV? That's got bad habits of using other people's sayings. Thanks for watching. I'm sitting there scratching myself. Got bit by a gnat. I've got little gnats in here, and they try to bite you. You probably see them in my videos. So, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.